And yeah, I mean, as you well know, AD jobs oftentimes are tied to the success of a football program. Do you think you're going to be able to lead this search?
I have not received any other indication to the contrary.
One more for you. You've talked about finances and being able to compete at a championship level, like you said. Do you feel like Sam had the financial commitment to be able to win at the level you wanted him to?
You were at the board meeting, and I gave you some statistics where our head coach compensation, our assistant coach salary pool, our support staff salary pool, and our overall operating budget ranked towards the bottom of the Southeastern Conference. I think with that information, Coach Pittman did not have the resources he needed to appropriately compete in this conference right now.
Hunter, I know there's been several jobs that have opened across the country. Several of them have started developing plans to kind of improve their financial situation. Virginia Tech is presenting here, I think, in a day to bring their budget up by an average of $50 million. How aggressive will you be in trying to improve the financial stability of the department, but also the NIL situation, so when you do go out there and you're presenting your future to a coach, that they feel confident that they're going to be able to be competitive against the other SEC players?
Yeah, so I think I think there's some misinformation out there about how competitive we are going to be moving forward in the NIL space. We've had over $500,000 of agreements that have gone through the NIL Go system by way of our student athletes. It's roughly $15,000 per agreement. The national average is about $5,800. We have an NIL strategist within our front office. Our team at Learfield is actively soliciting opportunities for our student athletes to have NIL agreements. We're at the full level, the cap from a revenue sharing standpoint. So whoever the next football coach is going to have the resources from a revenue sharing percentage and NIL to compete within this conference.
Bobby, you guys are going to have the full team meeting later, but you said that you've seen some of the guys individually around the facilities. Just what have their reactions been to all the news so far, and just what have you said to those guys?
Yeah, I mean it's obviously mixed reactions. We got some people that are excited and energized, and we've got some people that are hurt a little bit right now. Their feelings are down, and that's natural. That's how it goes, and I don't want to minimize their feelings and how they are, but at some point we've got to step together and move forward, and the quicker we do that, the better that we're going to be.
And then Hunter, what are maybe some of the qualities you're looking for in the next head coach, be that Coach Petrino or an outside hire? Just what are, I guess, some of the characteristics you're looking for in the next coach?
I think you have to have someone first and foremost that's a proven winner and proven that they can build a program. Someone that can come in and establish what your culture is going to be as a football program on both sides of the ball, in special teams. You want somebody that can that has some energy and can re-energize this program and re-energize our fan base, ties to what it means to compete within the Southeastern Conference, I think is really key. But I think, probably the keyest thing is they've got to be able to embrace and adapt to what is a changing environment in college athletics, and to be able to have some advanced scouting that's really in depth, and you can go head first into the transfer portal, and that's the way you're going to build a program quickly. And the days of bringing in 25 or 30 freshmen and thinking that you can turn a program with freshmen, they're going to go by the wayside, especially in football. And you've got to be able to really use that transfer portal, and that takes some in-depth advanced scouting across Division II, FCS, G6, and even Power 4, so that when that transfer portal opens up, you're ready to hit the ground running, and we're going to provide that staff with the resources they need to do so.
Coach Petrino, you spoke about change and talking with your players about change coming up this afternoon, and whether that is something they buy into or not is something that they have to decide. What is the best case scenario for this team going through this change right now in your eyes?
Well, the best case scenario is we come out tomorrow and we work hard, and we practice hard, and we get well prepared in how we're going to change the defensive structure and how we're going to go about running to the football and tackling well. We got to go back to some individual drills, tackle circuits, pursuit circuits, and turnover circuits, and do the little things that make the difference in the game. So I'm excited about the way our staff has been handling it and the plan that we have going forward defensively. offensively, we've got to get back where we get the ball across the 50-yard line, we go score touchdowns like we were early in the season, and that hurt us the last 3 halves, that we weren't able to convert touchdowns when we crossed the 50-yard line. So we're going to continue to work hard on that. And then we got to come up with a way where we can make difference-making plays in special teams. Right now in special teams, we haven't had a big return, block punt, forced fumble that turns into points. So to score a lot of points, you have to score in all 3 areas.
And then for you, Hunter, just curious as coach about the schematics of the team. What do you want to see out of what would you ideally see out of the fans here in the last 4? You still have 4 home games left. Obviously a tough one over the weekend, but with Coach Petrino, you talked about energy, excitement. What do you expect the fans will show back to you?
Well, we have one of the most passionate fan bases in all of college athletics, as demonstrated by what we saw Saturday at 11 a.m. as they showed up. And you see that across all of our sports. And so I hope our fans will come out and give these kids 100% support. And I hope in return, the kids that you see on the field will give 100% maximum effort and show that energy. And I think this is a state that, boy, if they see that team playing really hard and carrying some of the characteristics that Coach is talking about, they'll get behind him, win, lose, or draw. But they want to see that effort. I know our fans want to see that effort on the field. And I think that was something that was really glaring Saturday, that there was not a great deal of effort. And I think you'll see that change as we move forward.
Coach, in the past when you've talked to us, you've talked about how much you've enjoyed being back in the classroom with the quarterbacks and doing all the offensive stuff. What makes you want to take on more than that now? What makes you interested in the head coaching job again?
Well, I love the game of football, and I love the University of Arkansas and the Razorbacks and being back in the state. And I was asked if I would want to come back and serve as the interim head coach, and I felt, like it was my duty to do that. And I'm going to give everything I possibly can do. We've got a lot of areas that we need to improve on, but there's a lot of fun work ahead of us, and we're going to attack it with a positive attitude. Make it fun. We've got to make our players enjoy being in the building. We've got to make them enjoy going out on the practice field. Our coaches have to understand that we've got 9 weeks ahead of us, and how we handle those 9 weeks and how we improve and show the quality of the play on the field help determine all of our coaches' futures. So that's how we're approaching it.
Hunter's also said, though, you are interested in the full-time job beyond just the interim role. Are you confident in your ability to navigate all the things Hunter just laid out with NIL, transfer portal, all that kind of stuff?
I am, but my focus right now is 9 weeks. That's where I want to put my whole area into. Is we've got a team sitting there, players that need to be uplifted, and it's our job as a staff to go in there and show them how we can be successful and have fun with it, but also get out on the field and compete like Razorbacks compete.
And then for either of you, with the coaching change, there's a 30-day window for the portal. Have any players indicated that they intend to enter, or do you anticipate that happening? We
have not had anybody that has entered yet. I think they need to just understand what it is all about. A time to enter right now is really does nobody any good. It's not where they can transfer and go play and do that. I think all the players need to understand, like the coaches, they've got 9 weeks to really brand themselves and show their quality of play on the field. Some guys will be going into the NFL, and these 9 weeks will determine how they do that, where they go in, how they're slotted. Some guys will transfer in the portal, and these 9 weeks will see how they get paid going into the portal. And then some guys will stay here, and their futures will get better and better because of how they handled these 9 weeks.
Hunter, Bobby just said he's focused on these 9 weeks, but obviously in the release you guys had yesterday, he's going to be a candidate. What do you want to see from him over the next 9 weeks that can maybe elevate himself as a candidate for the full-time role at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think just demonstrating just great leadership of this program, and we're in a tough spot today. Like, this first meeting is going to be really tough because there's a lot of guys in that room that are going to be disappointed with the change of Coach Pittman and the change on the defensive side of the ball. And so I just want to see dramatic improvement just in the effort of our team on both sides of the ball and how they execute. It's not about necessarily wins and losses at this point. It's not fair to evaluate him on that moving forward. Does that make sense? And I told him, I don't expect him to come in with some magic pixie dust and we're going to go 7-0 the rest of the way with the schedule that we have. But I want to see a team that is much more competitive than we were, especially on Saturday. I want to see that team Ole Miss is ranked 4th in the country this week. We're 3 weeks removed from having the ball on the 25-yard line with 2 minutes to go. They most likely were not going to stop us if we don't fumble that ball. Our season could look totally different if we push that ball in at that game. And so we've got a good team in that locker room. We've got to find that good team again and get them back out on the field when we hit to Knoxville in 2 weeks.
You kind of touched on my next question. It seems like this kind of accelerated. Is that fair to say that, given where you guys were against Ole Miss, that maybe these 2 losses against Memphis and Notre Dame have just kind of really accelerated this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I did not see the performance that I saw Saturday coming, quite honestly. I thought we'd be really competitive in that game and that we'd come out with a lot of energy and a lot of passion and a lot of fight. And I don't think any of us saw that on that field on any aspect of the game.
Hunter, is there any thought to making an in-season change that it gets you maybe ahead of the curve in terms of being able to talk to potential candidates?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you obviously get ahead of anybody that's going to make a change anytime later than you make a change. It's really sensitive because you're most likely going to be talking to coaches that have positions at other institutions, and some are going to want to talk to you or some are not going to want to talk to you during their season. And I have respect for both of that. And so you don't want to lose a candidate because they want to wait till the end of the season to have any dialogue, but you can definitely start vetting some people in advance of others.
And Sam had a provision in his contract that said that he wouldn't have to mitigate after he turned 65 next year. Is that, as part of this restructure, does he have to go and try to find another job?
He does not. As part of our settlement and him coming down to the 62.5%, we removed that duty to mitigate, so he does not have that clause in his contract any longer.
Bobby, considering the fact that kids are going to be jumping in the portal or can jump in the portal, you've got coaches that are going to be looking for new jobs, or at least they're going to be putting out feelers. How hard will it be to get the staff and the players to just focus over these next few weeks and concentrate on games versus their future?
Well, that's the challenge, and like I said, that's what when I met with the coaches this morning, that's what I told them is how we handle the next 9 weeks is going to get you a job if you have to go find a job. And if you're sitting here and working hard on football and getting your players better and getting our schemes better, then your ability to get a job when this is over with, when the 9 weeks is over with, are greatly enhanced. If you're sitting here on your phone thinking about that job from 9 weeks from now, it totally hurts them. So I think we had a good discussion about it, and the feelings are good. But we got to go do it. We got to go focus and do it. And I like the leadership that we have on offense and defense and special teams. So I think we're all on the same page right now.
And for either one of y'all, Hunter, when you were talking about the advanced scouting that's going on right now, will the next coach bring in his own advanced scouting team, or is this something that you and Remy are kind of working on now? And would they possibly have a say in who the next coach could be?
I think it's really determined on the next coach, but I think it's really imperative moving forward that we have an advanced scouting department that's separate from your recruiting department, that's evaluating film across this country at all levels, and whether that falls within our front office or that falls within the football office, and there's some collaboration between the two. I think that is a must-have moving forward, and that's something that we will build into our financial model.